Greetings, gamers and adventuring party people. I did this thing on the recording where I said "Welcome, party people," and then I got excited. I don't know if anyone says "party people" at the beginning of so maybe NPC or PC party people. I don't know, something. Maybe that could be no. All right, we'll workshop it. My name is Jerod Leopold, and you're watching the introductory adventure for the game of Honorbound. It's going on Kickstarter February 1st. And we're going to be reviewing some of those rules, and we're going to do that encounter actually right here. Um, Let me introduce to you to our wonderful players. If you wish to use your real name, that's cool. If you don't, you can do something else. But in my upper left-hand corner, I've got, I guess if I'm not going to use your real name, I've got what used to be Dan Kelly. What what should I put down for your character's name?
My character's name is Gareth Karr.
Perfect. You want to say a little bit about something about yourself and then describe your character?
Something about which self? Me?
Yeah,
The
whatever you're
player or
comfortable
the
with.
character?
Yeah, like, are you happy to be here? Am I making you be here? Or
I'm totally here on my own free will. No one is making me play this game. I want to play this game.
you want to hold up a newspaper so they know what the date is?
They are treating me very well. I've been in this basement having a wonderful time. Uh,
Yeah, you're right. That was awkward. I apologize. We're going to be playing Honorbound. Tell me about your character.
yeah. So I'm playing Gareth Karr. He is a Harven. So he has very pale white skin. Uh, he has a mop of dark brown hair and that sort of parts here and comes almost down over his eyes, the one eye. The one eye you can always see is striking yellow. Um, he's gaunt, over 6 feet tall, uh, and he has a black velour cape that sits over his shoulders. It doesn't clasp in the front at all. It just sort of has this little collar, hangs over his shoulders as he walks. Otherwise, very dark, unassuming clothing underneath that.
Okay, right on. And next to you, I've got who is over in the Cursed Riders. I've got Honey. How are you doing today? Can you tell us about your character?
In Honorbound, I am playing Ludwicka. Ludwicka is a Scintillian. Scintillians are like a cluster of bacteria that form whatever shape they feel like at the moment. But at first glance, they're kind of just like a bubbly mass of bubbly humanoid. It just kind of has like bubbly skin. She specifically is like a blue green, teal, mint greeny kind of iridescent color. Um, and apparently this is how she moves because that's what I keep doing. Um, but it is just like a whole bunch of little bacteria that make one big form. Um, you can kind of take on a variety of forms as needed.
Okay.
Anything else to know about Sicilians?
No, love it.
A
All right,
mass
thanks.
consciousness situation where like all the bacteria have this same consciousness that form one Ludwicka.
Perfect. Love it. That'll be interesting to see how that develops as we play our game more. And then finally rounding out that I must have hit a button or someone hit a button. But now it's over to Kaz. Who is Kaz in Cursed Riders, which we will be doing more of that later on. Can I get your name for this game?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be playing an Iliod, which is sort of a crystalline creature with translucent skin that's sort of slowly, like a great, really high quality set of Christmas lights, is slowly evolving from one set of the rainbow to another as it slowly, translucently sort of echoes down his form. Most of the Iliad are tall, slender, sort of almost ethereal types of creatures. The one I'm playing is sort of unusual in that he's not, right? He's kind of shortish and squattish and broad. Not the typical Iliad, although there are a lot that look exactly like this one. They just don't usually leave the home world. Um, without really having eyes, the Iliad sort of have the same humanoid bipedal structure that most other species and races have in this world, this game system. Um, but despite not really having eyes per se, this Iliad looks entirely lost, disconnected, and confused. Like he's just wandered into a world he does not have any understanding of, and is trying to figure it out as he goes. It turns out most Iliad wear some form of loose clothing because it seems to make the other races and species seem more comfortable. This one is just fully unclothed, carrying no equipment or gear, uh, and is just looking around.
Perfect. And how should we address your character?
I don't know how we do that.
Your character's name?
Uh,
Oh, okay. Fair enough. The Iliad. Okay. Perfect.
yeah, I don't know. It don't really. I mean, there's a harmonistic frequency, but I don't. That's not. You wouldn't call it a name. That's not going to work.
All right, fair enough. Now, I will say languages are kind of a big deal in forming your cultures. So, in the remake of this game, now there is a universal language, so you can all communicate on a base level, fairly complex ideas. However, every lineage does have their own language base to it. For example, like um, the Iliad, yes, they have a harmonize type communication. The Harven can do pictograms, can sketch very quick pictures to convey large amounts of information. And then the Scintillian, Ludwicka, um, can speak normally to people, but if they're ever in flesh to flesh contact, especially with another Scintillian, they can just basically download any and all information that they have instantaneously. Now, when they do that to other species, though, most other species can't keep up with that. They don't have the processing power, basically, of it. But they can just talk just by touching through there, right? Talk normally. So this is all part of our cultures that we are going to be exploring that these guys are going to help build during this game. So Honorbound is very light, very swashbucklery, Three Musketeers shot into space, crossed with Charles Dickens. So we want to have lots of coincidences that happen because what's called the weave or the essence or the spark, this great mystical force in the universe, brings people together. We're trying to figure out why. Before we really start throwing dice and reviewing the system in our very first roll after I present the adventure is what is your untold story briefly, and then I want you to tell me what you think exactly your covenant is, starting with Gareth Karr.
My untold story is that my family was killed.
Okay.
And that's a mystery. Uh, Covenant.
The upper left-hand corner of the
Uh, um, in my version of what I think that it is, or
Mhm.
how detailed do we get with this?
Just a minute or two. Just
Okay.
what
Uh,
is it, and what do you think it's real, or what do you think?
sure. Uh, I've had a reoccurring dream that uh, I'm at a very specific place, a planet even, and uh, I'm there with a couple other individuals, and I know that I'm going to die. And in the dream, I don't see exactly how that happens. I just know that's imminent. That's what's going to happen. And I consider this to be a premonition, and I've always considered it my job to stop it from happening.
All right. Love it. For those watching at home, each character has an untold story. So something that is in their past that will come to light more and more as we adventure through rolling on the tension table and other things as well. The covenant is why the whole group got brought together. There is a reason that you're all brought together, and you're actually trying to figure out what that is. So, Ludwicka, what is your untold story, and how do you translate, I guess, the covenant?
My untold story in a nutshell is that I was somehow involved in some unethical research. To be determined what exactly that means or to be revealed. Um, the Covenant. I also have experienced recurring dreams. Um, and I know that in the recurring dreams that feel like a premonition, it feels like it is ultimately leading to my death. But I don't believe that is set in stone. But I also feel like it is. I don't believe in fate entirely. Like I think the circumstances leading to the dream may be out of my control in some capacity, but the death itself is maybe not. And so I am not avoiding this scenario. I may not actively be seeking it, but when it appears and I see the people from my recurring dream, I realize the events have been set in motion. And that is where I'm at.
Perfect. And then finally, the Iliad, your untold story. And yeah, well, how do you translate the covenant?
My untold story is that I just walked away from the cult that raised me. We were a unity cult. We were going to join with the essence, and it was going to be amazing. And I kept having this recurring dream that I met these two, and I was going to die. And I have to figure out what's going on with that. I don't necessarily think I'm going to die, but if I can't join with the essence, which I've been raised to do, it's a problem. But I don't think I was supposed to walk away. So I have to figure out what this universe thing is all about.
Perfect. I love it. All of you have very, uh, yeah, like dime store novel chapters, like ready to go for the beginning here. So let me throw out how I'm going to set up this thing. Um, I just discovered I probably should have saved the name from our last playtest to something or change the name to something different, but I'm sticking with it. It's a brand new world. Let's do this. Your group has been hired by Cardinal Ram, leader of the local cult of the Machine Head faction. Her intentions may be suspect, but her contacts are above board. Your job is to procure a star map rumored to lead to a sizable treasure, as long as you have the means to reach it. An informant tells you a lower tiered sleaze named Maul is looking to sell it. He's currently holed up at the Treetop Tabernacle Tap, a refuge for scum and villainy. The only real problem is that you can't be the only folks looking for this map. So you need to get it for Cardinal Ram by bargaining, stealing, or if all else fails, by force. So before we jump in, before I just put you through the front door, tell me one thing that your character does that you think is going to be useful in the upcoming thing that requires us to roll dice so we can seed these tension and um tension and saga point pools. So right now the I'm letting the players kind of figure out like what would their character do before, like a little bit of research, talk to someone, get a map of the bar somehow, or do figure something out about Lady Cardinal Ram or about the Machine Head cult or whatever. Does anyone have any ideas of what they want to check out first?
Uh, just to make sure I know,
Hmm.
Maul has a lead on where the map is, or he has the map.
Mull is the seller,
Okay.
and he's holed up in this really rough bar in a rough part of town.
Okay. So he might not have it with him, but maybe.
He's looking
Okay.
to sell it.
I think I know what I would do.
Okay.
This is like before we go, like
This is
before
before
day
you
one,
go.
essentially.
Yep.
Uh, I happen to be a master of disguise. I would try to disguise myself and be able to case the joint and get an idea for the kinds of folks that are violent, the kind of folks that are innocent, the kind of folks that are close with Maul,
Okay.
and get to know those relationships and maybe try to insert myself with one of his friends, but not directly with him. Make
Not a
sense?
problem. Yeah, I love it. So, taking a look at your character, just kind of walk through people what we're doing here. So, you've told me what you want to do, and so by going under disguise, um, tell me, pick what attribute you'd use, and then what skill you want to pair that with.
Yeah, panache and skullduggery, I think is the way to go, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yep, that's what I was going to suggest too. All right, so you're going to roll 6 dice, 66, and the default you're trying to beat is a 9.
Ooh, ugly.
All right, so it is a dice game, so failing totally happens. Um, now, okay, so how the game works is you roll your dice pool, you get to keep 2 dice automatically. So right now he's at a 5. If you want to keep more dice to get a higher number, that's not a problem. Just spend saga points. Now everyone starts with 1 saga point. Even if you kept the not rude, no, no. So you're gonna straight up fail. Now on the plus side, the rules of 1 in 6. So, because this is a heroic game and not a horror game, when you roll ones, you actually get saga points. So, Gareth failed. Uh, put on the disguise. Do you want to tell me how you failed, or you want me to do it?
um, uh, yeah, there's many ways. I failed many ways at this. My disguise was I was trying to be a more feminine version. Usually identify male, trying to have guys that identified more female, and just nobody was falling for it. I've been working on that for a long time, but my mannerisms just completely gave me away. People were like,
Hmm.
no. And just, I was really picking like one particular person to try to like get to be their friend, and they were not having it to the point where I was annoying them and sort of making myself way more known than I should have been.
Okay, perfect. Now, was this at the treetop cap?
That's a good question. I mean, I think that maybe like the me trying to pose feminine was at the treetop, but the pissing the person off was outside of that. Trying to
Okay.
like get to know them better outside of that, so that when we came together, it would make more sense.
Okay. And you don't even know if this person is truly associated with Maul at all or anything. You're just like, all right, well, it didn't work. No, on the upswing, you did get a bunch of saga points. So the next time you roll dice, you'll get to keep a bunch more, and hopefully you'll be a little bit more successful.
I
All
hope
right,
so. Oof.
all right. Ludwicka or the Iliad.
Ludwicka, would you like to go first, or shall I? Okay. So the Iliad is an incredibly calm, peaceful not necessarily confident entity that tends to intimidate the heck out of everybody, right? He's big and stocky and really, really intense all the time. Not as a because he's not high strung. Um, so sometimes tends to try to talk to people, but accidentally uses sort of the intimidate maneuver, mistakes charisma for being really direct and asking things in a really blunt way. So probably vigor and command,
Yep.
which turns into intimidate, but is still sort of struggling with the social implications of talking to people in that way.
Perfect. And
And
so
just
you're intimidating someone for what?
I'm just trying to be friendly, but it comes across in this way. And so I'm going to probably just go and say that, I'm going to go and say I need to talk to Maul and hope to have a few private words with this person, except it comes across as super threatening.
Okay, so you're just trying to get in touch. So you know that Maul is going to be at that bar doing a sale. Okay.
Hmm.
So the information that you're looking for, you won't be able to talk to Maul directly. Um, but you can, are you just trying to find out more information like about if I change it that way, does that affect like what your information like are you trying to get kind of the same information that um that Gareth was trying to get or something different?
Yeah, trying to find. Yeah, thank you for helping me with that one. Trying to figure out who Maul is
Okay.
and what it is that Maul might want.
Okay. This might be just a case of Gareth comes back and like, oh man, I tried to do this. And you just like halfway through what he's talking about, you just stand up and you go someplace and like, well, I can do it. Okay.
I'll take
per-
care of it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
7 dice.
I forget. I just typed 7d6, right?
D6. Yep, that's it. Perfect. Okay.
But I did get a six, a natural six roll there.
Yep. So that means I get a tension point. However, you by keeping 2 dice, 11 versus the default target number of 9, not a problem. So you shake down this person, and the information you get is that Maul was working for he was a mercenary at one point in time, and he left during a contract. Uh, and you know that he never works alone. He usually works with someone named Murdoch. It's a humanish with one eye. And you're guessing the reason that he dropped out of the contract with the troop of other people that he was with was probably because he got the star map.
I will thank the person who shared this with me. Big, monstrous hand patting him hard on the shoulder. Thank you. And I will head back to my team and let them know I have made a new friend.
Yeah, not a problem, Mr. Crystal. Yeah, okay. All right, perfect. Ludwicka, what would you like to do?
Mr. Crystal.
I think I just want to learn a little more about the tavern, do some research. Know the neighborhood like. What is there? Is this like the tavern for like a certain population of people? Like, is it like this is where all the dock workers go? This is
Sure.
where all the construction workers go? Like, whatever. Is this like something they like? What kind of libations are sold here? But also like the building itself. Like, are there like where are all the exits? Are there any like tunnels underneath it that I might be able to find doing some research, finding some blueprints or something?
Sure. Yeah, not a
And I was
problem.
thinking that might be a which is inquiry
That's
the
exactly what I was
right skill for
thinking.
research?
Yeah, 5 dice.
Inquiry gets me 5 dice, right?
Mhm.
Get my computer to cooperate.
Oh, all right. Gotta love that. That you get it and I get a bunch of saga points. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. In
Hmm.
theory, I'm not gonna do it for this check, but I have a skill and advantage that lets me reduce the tension points produced, right? Cipher.
Mm-hmm.
Theory, I could
Yes.
have been like, I'm spending a saga point to say you don't get those, right?
Yes.
Am I understanding that correctly? Okay.
Yeah,
Do it for this one,
100%.
but just making sure I was understanding it correctly.
Okay. Yeah, not a problem. You can use that on other people's roles as well. You do have to
And
use
it's
it.
not limited to a certain number per
Nope,
encounter or
but you
anything
do
like
have
that?
to spend it before the
Okay, so
dice
I
are rolled. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have to
Yep.
decide before I roll that
Yep.
I'm gonna use my cipher this time. Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. So then
Okay.
what you probably want to do is to use it like when someone's going to roll a lot of dice, right? When there's a big opportunity to do that, you're like, you know what? No, 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 no. I'm going to spend Cypher. So, folks at home that are watching, Cypher is a really great ability to keep me from getting tension points. The more tension points I get, the harder it is for them. Either storyline or my guys get tougher, stronger, I get to use more abilities or whatever. All right, armed with your new knowledge, the three of you gather together. Are you gonna enter into the bar? Well, let me show you what the outside of the bar looks like first. The treetop. Oh, you succeeded on your roll. I should probably tell you what your good stuff is, huh?
Yes.
Your, which I can just tell you what the first paragraph is here. Actually, the treetop tap was actually a company satellite that fell from orbit after the wars. It's shaped like a giant child's top. The upper floor was cleared out and is now just a rough bar on the edges of the city, rusting in ruin at the base of gargantuan sentinel trees that tower hundreds of meters in the air. The satellite is supported by two branches in iron core cables, leaving the only way in and out just by a flight of rickety walkway 80 meters above the streets. Either by design or luck, there's several natural growing vines that have reinforced the cables and crisscross their way below the bar, slowing many lethal falls into merely debilitating falls. Um, from that's just your knowledge talking to someone to get the physical description of it. It's a one room bar. And the people that go there are almost they're people that don't want to be found and want to go away. And that's because the bartender, Cassie, has sway. You're not quite sure how, not quite sure why, but he has sway over this area. So military groups, local military groups or police groups generally leave her alone. Okay. So she is probably the key to all of this somehow. All right. You're now armed with your information, and this is the part that I like best. We're done planning. We're just going in to give it to you. And if at the last second you're like, wait, no, I think it would make sense that we would have done this. For the most part, you're going to be fine as long as it's minor. Like, same thing for equipment right now. I will get you a bigger equipment list like Cursed Riders has. For right now, though, you've got some sort of hand to hand weapon or a pistol, a long range weapon. You have some sort of item that is representative of your calling, right? If you are a bounty hunter, you probably have like a Rolodex of bounties, or whatever. If you're a scientist, you have scientific equipment on you. They can just pop out and use. Um, that being said, that's how we're going to do equipment. If there is some sort of equipment that you don't have, we can do like a preparation roll, and I'll give you a number depending on how ridiculous it is. I am going to make one request. For some reason, the last two groups both got smoke bombs, and I'm not allowing smoke bombs this time because I want to have a little bit different story. So, yeah, I was just surprised when the second group brought it up. I'm like, oh, yeah, oh, all right, sure. Okay. Inside this singular round room, it's kept dark by floor-length tinted glass on all sides and is full of illegal inhalants. A large open-top jar sits on the bar for the bar owner's pet mugwump. A jukebox off to one side is playing music just loud enough to drown out quiet conversations. Cassie, a willowy eternal, works behind the bar with a keen eye out for trouble. Your target, who obviously has to be Maul, is a thickly corded Gortu. Stands over 6 feet tall, bright red skin with the calcified bones, giving him his keepsake of the demon seed that his lineage is known for. Seems to be in deep discussion while playing some sort of card game with a scruffy looking Caxian, who are the kind of the merfolk, to give some people an idea of what that is, wearing a faded military pilot jacket. Between them appears to be your goal. It is a hollow sphere about the size of a marble that is your star map. You see it turn off briefly just after you enter, as some eyes peer over to you. Not too many, though. It seems like this is the type of place that people tend to focus on their drinks or just the people that are across from them. Bar is half full, even in being a nice afternoon for it. You got a little dizzy coming on up through the rickety stairs after that massive 300-foot drop underneath of you. Now, I need you guys to help me out with this scene in this world right now. I'm gonna go the opposite direction this time. The Iliad. Can you tell me how do you know that Cassie has almost complete command of the bar? What do you see?
Nope, I lost you there for just a second. Could I have you repeat
Oh,
that? Sorry.
yeah, not a problem. What do you see, or what is apparent to you? How does Cassie keep the bar in line?
There is a big sign that says all tabs must be closed. And there are 3 fingers nailed to the sign.
Oh, very rough neighborhood. Very
Very rough
rough.
neighborhood.
Whoa, love it. Okay, Ludwicka. Hey, can you tell me what a mugwump is?
Just gonna ask you that question. Um, Mug. I was gonna ask if it was the creature's name or the creature's species. I think a mugwump. It is like slimy reptilian creature. The type of um terrarium. That's not the word I'm looking for. Aquarium. It's like an aquarium. Like it's like what you would put a turtle in. Like it's like tropical and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
warm. Like there's a lot of moisture in it. It has 3 eyes and it has 4 legs, but like the back 2 are super short and the front 2 are super long. Yes, and I think it can hop a little bit, kind of like a frog.
And hops. All right, perfect. And then, uh, finally, I was going to ask you this question, but you guys already know this one, so I'll ask the question after this to give you, because the Iliad already got this information. You do see near the entrance door, you do see a really scraggly, rough-looking humanish with an eye patch. He's got an eye patch, and his other eye seems to be mechanical. And he is definitely keeping an his focus on what's happening at the table with Maul. You're guessing that this is his running mate. So, the question that I need is Gareth, what is the game that Mole and the pilot are playing?
They're playing craft cards. Uh, it's like a playing deck. Everybody carries their own. Everybody has like their own, and you like trade, and it's like sort of a collectible game that way. But all are uh, they're crafts. They're starships, and
Okay.
different starships have like different values, and so you're always trying to trade up to get the better cards. Um, Pretty standard that there's going to be like nudie versions of these decks too. So like kids like looks like they have like a regular craft card deck, but you hit the little thing on the corner and you see a naked person on it. Uh, but a lot of spies have figured out ways to use craft cards to hide information so that you can click it once and you see the nudie, click it a certain way and it brings up information. So you trade cards and it looks like you're just trading craft cards, but they're
Okay.
actually trading information.
I could see how the Harven would be really into those too, being able to put different pictogram images on there.
And like combinations you see of different craft could mean different things. It's kind of a way you could do like a secret code with it too.
I love it. Craft cards will be coming out on Kickstarter in March, so if you guys want to put that on your calendar,
Weird.
we'll we'll figure out how to play that.
That's fun. I'd play it. Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound pretty fun. As you take in the scene, you overhear the pilot look at Maul and say, "All right, kid, do we have a deal or not?" Think about what you're gonna do. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back.
What do you think? How do we get involved with this? Or do we wait and see what happens?
I need to know if there's how many
Yeah,
other people in here might be trying to do the same thing.
true.
But yeah,
I don't want somebody else winning a card game and suddenly it's their thing.
I mean, there's gonna be like 20 people in here, maybe more. It's a big round room. The room itself, I would say, since we're Americans, let's call it 50 feet diameter. So pretty big.
yeah.
But the bar is going to be in the middle, circular bar. So maybe it needs to be a little bit bigger than that actually. But a circular bar in the middle, somewhere there's a jukebox.
Uh,
Would there be a way to figure out if other patrons seem interested in this card game and what is going down right now?
Yeah.
Something akin to like I'm trying to think what skill it would be. Um,
Yep. You
even
can
like a
absolutely do that.
mysticism weave or something.
Mm.
I don't know what skill would be appropriate for such
Yep.
a thing.
I would say inquiry because you're trying to find clues of what kind of people are around here that are trying to pay attention, right? And I'd probably go with
Okay.
wits because you're just looking at
Okay.
them, right? Or if you want to push the boundaries and use mysticism, see if you can read some auras, maybe.
Trying to decide if it was trying some mysticism a little bit. I do that. I know it's one less die, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
Okay.
Nope.
I am
Fine.
going to give you a number before you roll. This is going to be an environment roll. It's going to be a 13, so it's not going to be super easy.
Ooh. Well, I gave you a little tension and I did not ask for a cipher. So, but I will spend a saga point to hit that 13. No problem.
Okay. You can spend a saga point, so you're at 17. Yeah, what you said?
Yeah, but I mean the 12th is not the 13 that you asked for. So yeah, I'll spend the
Yeah,
saga point to
perfect. Okay.
be successful.
All right. Your roll was so good. This person was kind of standing out a little bit. I mean, obviously Cassie is trying to keep her eye on as many people as possible, right? But she is busy serving drinks to people coming up, but people also are giving her deference, right? No one's yelling at Cassie. Um, however, there is one person who seems to be a little bit more inebriated than everyone else. It is I don't know, kind of a slim Zooey. So think of like a skunk furry, and she is wearing a let's give her like in a Victorian pink dress. But she has on her sleeves these leather bracers. She seems to be very drunk, but she also seems to be keeping an eye. You can't quite tell if she's trying to look over the shoulder of Maul. It, like where she's at the bar, that kind of seems to be the case. Can you roll me a d6?
I'm just gonna say it seems to be inebriated.
Mm,
1d6.
yeah, 1d6. What'd you get?
Ooh.
2. Okay. I haven't gotten to do this one yet, so I'm kind of excited. As you're peering around, you notice the Zooey is acting a little bit strange. Cassie sees you and gives you a knowing nod. Why did she do that? And why did you hide that information that you know who Cassie is from the other two players? If you want to, you can earn a unity point. So those are the big ones, right? You can earn a unity point
Mhm.
by taking a 4-point honor-bound vow of not destroying her bar.
Okay, walk me through that.
Yes. Okay. So Cassie looks at you, she gives you a nod. Why do you know
Mhm.
Cassie and why did you hide it from the other two players? Okay. One. If you want to go deeper, if you want to earn a unity point, you also have an understanding with Cassie that you promised her you would cause no trouble. Nothing would get broken, otherwise you would pay for it out of your own pocket.
Sure.
If you want to wait and think about that, that's fine. We'll go to the other two characters. Is there an action that you two want to do? And I'm going to assume that kind of you guys have worked together just a little bit enough. Because remember, you guys are bound by this covenant. So there might be a little bit more of like unspoken communication amongst each other too. So you notice Ludwicka notice the Zooey, the skunk tail, and she kind of gives like a little motion that something's up with her. Do either of you two want to do an action? Remember, the pilot is waiting to hear back from Maul about this, assumably about the sale of the star map.
What are the two Maul and the pilot? What are they drinking?
How special? Let's go with a some sort of molasses distilled, some sort of like grog distilled from the tap of the trees around here.
Okay. I think as an operator, one of the uh, uh, equipment that I would have would be like the equivalent of like roofies, like a knockout drug that I could put into a drink.
Yeah, I can like weak ones. Yeah, if you want something stronger, You can roll
Yeah.
for it.
Uh, something that would knock somebody out for a matter of minutes as opposed to like hours. That's what I would have, like the smaller thing. That's
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, but it would be like the check that I have to make, like a DC 9 would be like the default, right? Versus their health
Sure.
roll. If you want something better than that, I'm gonna make you roll a mysticism lore check, maybe. Like you just had or a wits lore check. Like you had a gut feeling that you're gonna need to be armed for bear, or like yeah, or you were thinking about it after hearing what the Iliad said about Maul, that he's a huge dude. Yeah, I need to get something more powerful.
Like
And you
I would do that then. I'll do a wits lore, do a
okay,
little sciencey stuff on here. So
okay,
it's not a
perfect.
great roll.
Give me a 13, honestly. I think that's probably worth a 13 type of knockout powder.
Okay. I will spend a saga point to make that happen.
Boom, you got it. Love it. All right, so you have it. That didn't really like take an action, although something we would think about. Maybe that should pick up your action. Like
Sure.
you were just
Then
kind of fumbling around, you know.
I want to make sure I have it. Then I want to order one of those drinks for myself.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, perfect. I'm okay with that. Like, yep, you have it. Order the drink. It'll cost you one trinket.
Sure.
And the Iliad. Do you want an action?
I'm going to go talk to Murdoch.
Huh?
I'm going to ask him if he'd like to step outside and talk about joining the Essence. And I'm going to attempt to. I'm going to go. It's. I don't know if you prefer panache command, like a give orders. I would prefer it be something like an attempt to convert. So I'm going to try to use
Oh,
my religious cultish upbringing because there's a big part of what we do to try to bring other Iliad into joining the Essence. Now, I don't know that he's going to understand that I'm not threatening to kill him.
right.
So I don't know how this is going to be received.
I love do the convert roll. I love that idea. As you come over to this guy who's kind of made sure no one else is sitting next to him, and you like get in his eyesight, and he goes like, "Hey!" And he looks up at you. You're an imposing figure. He's like, you notice that no one else in the bar is really showing weapons. Okay. But you see him kind of reach into a holster right on his arm, like kind of pull out a longer knife, like just to show the blade of it. And he's like, if you know what's good for you, you better be moving along. But then you lay on him this, and you're the aggressor. You roll your dice first. My God. Would you like to keep any saga or spend any saga points?
I don't think I have any yet. So,
You start with one. You always start with
oh,
one.
okay. Yes, I would.
An
Let's
18.
go straight up 18. I would like to
Okay.
talk to him about joining the Essence outside.
Oh, okay. I'm now at 4 attention, which is a great place to be at. Okay. Hey, I am a ruffian, thieves in honor and whatnot. Um, he like you just impose your will, your link with the essence is just this overwhelming radiating from you towards him. And his eyes just kind of gloss over and he's like, oh, kind of looks around and he's like, all right, you're not quite sure. He he looks like he might be terrified as well, but also he's just like, this is the strangest thing. He's like, all right, I'll go outside. He gets up to go outside. Do you want to follow him out there or just let him leave?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go sit with him on a bench outside.
Okay. You All right, you other two see the Iliad stand up with some stranger, some humanish that's mostly machine at this point, wearing a dusty cloak, walk out the front door, the only door of the bar, out onto one of these massive, 20-foot or like, yeah, 15, 20-foot in diameter branch to go stand outside. Um, Amazing. Okay, Maul is like, well, I guess I don't have any other buyers, so I think we can close this deal. And he's like, the pilot goes, it's about time, kid. All right, people that are in the bar, um, give me your action.
You want my story things from
Yes,
my
I
tension.
apologize. I was waiting for that. I apologize. Yes. And what's your deal with Cassie? What's going on?
I think out of I knew that we were hired to get this thing by force if necessary, but I also can respect a professional woman just trying to do her job. And so I wanted to go talk to her and just be upfront and be like, I was hired for this thing, going down at your bar. Um, See if she would give me any like insight into like, oh, stay out if needed, or and just see if there's any way I can make this easier on her. Um, Therefore, I think it does lead to trying to work out some type of deal as far as this vow. Because I have been a professional who got hurt in the workplace, and I don't want that to be the case for her. And however, okay, how specific does this honor bound vow thing need to be? Because can I make it a deal where the bar, her establishment will not be caught or harmed by something caused by us? Like, I don't want to say your bar will be standing at the end of today, but I do feel confident saying it will not be our fault if it's not. Is that acceptable?
No, you know how this works. If you're there and you are a part of anything
Checking.
that goes down, yeah. What do you think? You gonna take the unity point or
Just
no?
checking. I really want to. Yeah, I'm gonna try to protect her bar.
All right, perfect.
And I haven't told the rest of my party about it, about my talking to Cassie. Because I mean, as I referenced, there was some type of past work thing where like I shared too much and shared too much information, and I hardly know these guys, and I knew the person, I trusted that person, and they still information and like claimed it as their own or something, um, like, or did bad things with it. Do you need me to decide that right now? Is that
No,
how
no,
tension is working? You want me to
no,
decide? Okay.
nope.
Something bad was done with information that I gave, and so I don't trust these guys just because I have a covenant with them doesn't mean I trust them.
Yep, yep, 100%, 100%. This is definitely one of those games where you guys are forced together. Doesn't mean you're working in lockstep, just as of yet, right? Makes sense. All right, so I think it looks like Gareth probably has a plan the most. But please talk to each other how you want to organize it. So Ludwicka has sussed out the Zooey is keeping an eye over the shoulder of Maul. Gareth has got the molasses type tap drink, and the Iliad is outside with um who you quickly suss out is his name is Murdoch. And you guys need to do something this actionable turn, or it looks like the sale's going to go through on the star map.
I, I think that the loose uh, network of a plan. I have a theory of a plan. Um, uh, is that I to buy time would be posing as a potential buyer, uh, and just hoping that we can stall long enough to figure out who's who, what's going on, and kind of make it up after that.
Yeah, perfect. You want to sit down at the table then?
I'm going to, yes.
Yeah, my role in this is keep Murdoch tied up out here, talking about the next chapter of his life. And if anyone comes out, I either retain them or throw them off the tree. So, yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
and I think I'm just trying to track other potential people who might try to interfere right now and may cause trouble in doing so.
Perfect. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Gareth, you sit down at the table. The pilot is the only one that really seems miffed by this. He's a Cassian with the bioluminescent lighting. He's wearing that vest, but he can still going up and down the sides of his neck. He's not happy that you sat down. He looks over and goes like, "Look, kid, this doesn't have anything to do with you."
Yes, excuse me. I'm Connor McAllister the third of Clan McAllister, and I belong to be here just as much as you, sir. Now, may I have a seat?
Maul's like, Maul gets a big scowl on his big red face, lowering his horns a little bit, and he's like, well, depends what your business is.
You. They didn't send you the comm, did they? Blast. I knew this would happen. Anyway, you were supposed to be told that I was coming. It's all right. Um, has the price been negotiated? Where are we at? I'm sure that I can beat it if needed. Uh, so,
Mentioning price, you see Maul's face start to light up a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, are you here for the thing?" And he just kind of points at the marble star map on the table.
mhm. I'm gonna stall a bunch with just some rambling stuff. But what I really want to do is figure out how much drink he has left in his glass,
Okay.
so that I can subtly get the same amount into mine,
Yep.
and then I will carefully have the roofie ready to do one or the other, probably mine, and then do a switch.
Okay. That time can end up being pretty quick. Uh, the price is at 11 joules, and right now that's where the running price is at. Um, the the pilot is like looking at Maul is like, he's just playing you, kid. There is no whatever it is. At this point, you see the Zooey drunkenly detach herself off from the bar, and she starts to like drunkenly stagger towards the table. Now, because you clocked her before and you were watching, Ludwicka, you can have an action before she reaches the table. Oh, mute.
I'm unmuted now. I'm gonna try to intercept her by doing something really great. Um,
Okay.
that will involve just trying to figure out what skill I'm using. What would be like That's probably a really bad idea.
That
That's
doesn't mean you
true. How
shouldn't do it,
was I
though.
going to stop somebody else? I know, but how was I planning to stop somebody? I don't know. I was watching for people I needed to stop, but I wasn't thinking about how I was going to stop them if I saw them.
Yes, that is a person I
Um,
should stop.
yes, I see them. Um, and I should not do anything panache, but that's what's about to happen here.
Right.
Um,
Now, I would also, I mean,
what
depending on
would
what you
be
can
like?
do, right? You can do something bigger, maybe. It just depends what you're doing, right?
I mean, I was envisioning just trying to act equally as drunk as she was acting, and just kind of like try to be a distraction and just be like, "Oh my goodness, isn't this the best card game you've ever seen?" And just do like some type of deception-y thing. It's like, "Have you been to this bar before? This is such a great bar." Just obnoxious and
Okay.
drunk.
Okay. You're
Um,
going to try to, yeah, girl talk
would
her,
that
I
be
guess.
like,
Is that a skill?
eh, I know, I'm trying to figure out where that would fall. Maybe like a deception to just like, or a
Yeah.
distraction somehow.
Yeah, I would
Performance?
be
Is there like
fine. Yeah, I would be fine with like court because you're trying to get her attention and impress her, make a connection with her, right? I'd be fine with
sure.
skullduggery. That would also work for me.
Okay. Ooh, I should have sabotaged. That would have been the way to go, but I've already described what I want to do, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I will do a panache. Um, I mean, equally bad no matter what I do. So I will try court. This was a good plan.
Okay, you got a 7. All right. So you step in and you're like, "Oh my God, is this the best bar ever?" And the woman just deftly sidesteps you in the most amazing bit of, I don't know, grace and proper etiquette. And she's just like, "Oh, it's just the best. You should talk to Cassie." As she just like kind of spins away from you, heading into the bar, or heading into the table. All right, I'm gonna cut outside real quick. Uh, you rolled so well with Murdoch. You can basically uh, tell him to go away, or you can just talk for quite a while as long as you want to. He's going to be probably like you outrolled him by so much. If he chose not to do it, he would lose every honor that he would have. He would be kicked out of society. So he is just interact with your like,
Yeah, and he's clearly had a tough life. He's clearly done the best he could, and suffering doesn't need to be suffering. And maybe this is a great opportunity to reflect on what's brought him here tonight. And maybe he should take the rest of the night to do that.
oh, thank
Be
you,
one with the essence, my brother.
thank you, thank you. He genuinely reaches out to shake your hand.
He's getting a hug, bringing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
a full
Hug.
on hug. I've seen other people, I've seen humanish do this, so I'm going to mimic that. I'm going to try not to hurt. I won't hurt him, though. Just,
Oh, thank you, brother. Brother Iliad, is that what I should call you?
uh, a friend of mine called me Mr. Crystal, and you can call me that too.
Okay, Mr. Crystal. Ah, yeah, I will be in touch. And he just kind of wanders away in a daze, going back down the rickety stairs from the only exit from this bar, heading down to the street level.
I hope I see him again. I guess I'll go back into the bar.
All right, you enter the bar just in time to see Gareth. You're the only one that hasn't taken an action. You see this woman, Zooey. You see her approach out of the corner of your eye just seconds before something's going to happen. It looks like she's heading directly for the pilot. And as she's getting closer, you're suddenly, everyone in the bar is actually, you're hit with these pheromones. So everyone, if you could do a, oh, I had it figured out. It's going to be a valor panache. Oh yeah, panache valor roll for me, and you need to beat a 9. Okay, Ludwicka. Do you want to spend a
Saga
saga
point to
point
make.
to succeed? Okay. All right. What would normally happen there with those pheromones is that she is batting her eyes. If you were to attack her or try to cause any physical harm to her, you'd have to spend a saga point in order to do so. But you managed to just like shake it off before it gets into your system. And she's going. Looks like she's going to slam her hip into the table, causing it to get knocked over. Gareth, in this moment, what would you like to do before that happens?
Oof. I'm pretty sure she's gonna knock into the table.
Mm-hmm. As
Uh,
she's going, "Hello, darling," to the pilot.
Great. I want to anticipate that and do the drink switch while when it happens, so that I can grab both of our drinks and then give him the one that's drugged.
Okay. I need you to do a skullduggery vigor, I think. That's gonna be like a sleight of hand thing, right? Does that make the most sense?
Yep.
And then the Iliod in Ludwicka, I need you to do an inquiry wits roll. Okay. You're the aggressor, so you roll first, and then I'll roll second to see what I need to do. All right, Gareth. Holy cats. Okay, that's fun for pretty good. All right, I'm gonna see if um Maul notices anything. No,
Oh,
no, no,
that
no, no, no.
roll was for the previous one. That was for the pheromone thing. Was I supposed to do the pheromone thing?
Yes, yeah. Okay, so that's for the pheromone. Okay,
Yeah.
do the switcheroo. Do the skullduggery
There's
check for me. And if I
That's what's
if I
true.
all right, do you want to spend a saga point? Because I'm gonna reroll that if I get to.
Yeah, I'll spend a side.
Okay, so you're now at 14. Yeah, I can't even get there anyway. All right. You have successfully switched the tubs, and you're gonna hold on to them, right? So they don't get spilled over. The table gets knocked over.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him, then wait till the table gets whatever's. Hand the drink to him if I have to, but make sure that it's seen that I saved our drinks, and then kind of wait and see what happens. I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll a d6 and tell me after I get done getting Ludwicka and the Iliad figured out here. All right, what did you guys end up with on your rolls?
Mine was ways back apparently. Give me a second.
Have you guys rolled yet? I guess I should ask that. Okay,
Did
Uh,
yes,
I I have rolled a 5, and a 3, so I'm just going to leave it at 10.
10. Okay.
and we don't know what we're trying to beat right now, right?
No, because you're the aggressors trying to. I'm giving you a
I got a
chance to
1, so I'll
notice
give
something.
back. I will spend a saga point to make it a 12.
12? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the number I'm trying to beat is a 12. Yeah, I'm gonna spend a tension point of my own. Which, if you notice, I haven't had to spend too many tension points so far. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the 17. All right. So the Zooey Skunktail um hits the table pretty hard, causing it to rock over. And she's going after the pilot. And he's just like, just get off of me, kid. My God. And she's just like she has like a fan that she drops and she picks it up. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Um, when she bumped the table, you see the marble-sized star map go shooting off of the table. It's heading into a group of rough-looking characters who look like they're going to get ready to try and scoop it up if they get a chance because they've been here all afternoon listening to this, right? They know that thing has some sort of value to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But Gareth, you have to tell me what you rolled.
A 1. Is that a good one?
It's been rolled every time I've done this, and I think I might just turn this from being rolled just to something that I really enjoy. You hear an incredibly in the base of your skull, you hear a start of like television type static type noise, and then an incredibly rich and deep voice, not in a booming, threatening way, but as a calm, almost soothing voice. Goes, it's like Gareth Karr, born Harven. Please free me from this prison, and I shall be able to give you the answers to the cosmos of one great question. You hear this in the back of your skull, and you look over towards the direction you think it's coming from, and you see the bulbous eyes of the mugwump peering at you through the dirty glass of its bowl that it's being kept in. He is going to tag you for a 3 Honorbound point vow. You can ignore it, but he is an innocent in danger. Okay. Um, the first group that did this, it was a 6-legged monkey. It was the easiest thing in the world. It's just like I was gonna have him run up my leg, and we're just gonna leave. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Okay.
All right. So now we're gonna go into initiative. So it doesn't necessarily mean combat per se. It's just what order that we're going to do our actions in. Now, in this game, I already have all the initiatives written down. All my guys are static initiatives. If you can choose to roll for initiative. Okay. If you choose to roll for initiative, then you will roll like vigor in valor or like mysticism in valor. So like a gut reaction of when you need to go, or just the quickness of vigor, right? Kind of depending on what you're doing. If you have a different thing that you think makes sense for trying to go first, I would be fine with that too. Like if you're doing like a riddle thing, the fastest one to do the riddle, like that would be wits, right? But in this case, assumably your action is to dive onto the rolling marble or to do something else physical like that. Um, so you can choose to roll for initiative, or you can say, you know what, I'm just going to go last. If you choose to go last, you get a saga point. Like, kind of tell me why you're going last. Like, I'm caught up in something or whatever, and then go from there. So going around in the circle. Gareth, you gonna roll or go last?
I'm gonna roll. Faux show.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll. A vigor, valor, right? Sort of
Yep.
a athletic check.
Okay. Yep. And I do want to remind people, don't forget about your abilities and your advantages. These can help out in weird ways. Okay, so Gareth, I get a tension point. You're at 11. Do you want to spend a saga point to?
No.
Okay, so you're at 11. Okay. All right, Ludwicka, do you want to roll or go last?
Roll, please.
Okay. All
Oh,
right, you're
sorry, I need to tell you what I'm doing. I was doing athletics. Um, so like, sorry, the vigor valor is what I
yep,
was looking at.
perfect. You want to spend a saga
Um,
point to get to 11 or no?
I think I want to use the saga points. Oh, I get another one though, don't I?
What did you do? You did vigor
I
valor, right? Vigor
rolled a
valor.
one, so I get a saga point back, right?
Yeah, correct.
I have my 8.
Happy with your 8? Okay. All right,
I
in
have
the
2 saga
Iliad.
points.
I I don't know that I've been picking up on all the cues going on around here. I know um Ludwicka told me about sort of pointed out the skunk tail. I
Mhm.
don't want to jump in on that and hurt people. I'm made of crystal. I could hurt somebody who probably shouldn't, who isn't in the wrong here. So I'm just going to go last. I'm going to take the saga point.
Okay,
I'm going to wait and
sounds
see
good.
how it pans out before I potentially hurt somebody.
All right, perfect. So who I get, I have a 13, and that's Gunner the pilot is going to go first. Now, Gunner's going to try and pounce on the marble. Is there anyone else who's trying to jump on the marble? Star map, sorry.
I don't know if I would necessarily say jump on it, but I definitely want to react to it and do something with it.
Okay.
Yes,
Because what Ludwicka, you do?
but I'm envisioning more of like not so much a pounce as much as like a in space and trying to grab it as like a
Yeah.
bunch
A
of bacteria
competing
trying to
yeah,
grab a thing.
what I'm trying to do is trying to figure out like do I want to do an opposed roll or just a different kind of roll, right? So if you want to do an opposed roll, that's fine. I would just do it right now. So let's say I'm the aggressor as Gunner. So I'm actually pretty quick. So yeah, I'm gonna spend a tension point and I'm gonna get a 13. So as of right now, Gunner is has gotten hand is ready to swoop it up unless someone stops him. At 12, the skunk tail is gonna go.
Mm.
And she just kind of spins away and she's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should probably just leave. Oh no. And she starts to stumble her way towards the exit. All right. So then my next one is not until 6. So I'm pretty sure that is Gareth.
Yeah. Uh, how positive am I that the map that went flying off the table is the actual map and that there wasn't an old switcheroo happening at some point?
Sure. Give me Wits Inquiry, probably.
Probably.
That is a fantastic question.
I
Would you
will
like?
spend a saga point to make it. Woof. How many do I got? I think this is pretty important. Can I spend more than one saga point?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna spend 2 and make it a 17 then.
Okay. Um, yeah. It was a good roll. Uh, no, I'm fine. Okay. You spent it all. Got a 17 on it. I don't want to spend all my points. Okay. Uh, as you see it skitter across the floor on there, you're like, wait a minute. There's something about the markings on it are different from what you were looking at.
Yeah, I can smell my own. In this case, it's a skunk. Uh, I'm just gonna get up. It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna get up. I'm just gonna uh, hand the uh, roofie drink to Maul and just look at him quickly and say, "How unprofessional! What a disaster of a day!" And I'm just gonna follow the Zooey, and I'm gonna make eye contact if I can with Ludwicka. Oh shit! I got that stupid mumwump thing. What's it called?
Mugwump.
The mugwump. I'm going to keep an eye on the Zooey as I pass Ludwicka. I'm going to say, "Skunk, Zooey has it," and I'm going to go to the aquarium.
Okay. I am fine if you would like to do, if you want to call out Maul on being unprofessional to attack his honor. I'm fine with you doing that if you'd like to.
I just want an excuse to get
Yes.
off away from the table. So I don't no need to piss off the demon guy any more than I have to. So no. It's nothing official said.
Okay. That's fine. As he as you say that to him, he just kind of like shrugs because it's not his turn yet. So we go to Ludwicka as you see Gareth pass you and whisper under his breath.
Did you whisper?
I whispered that the Zooey has the map.
That's what you said. I just wanted to make sure Rachel wasn't sure she had understood correctly. I okay. So here's a question: would this be a need to pull out? I have an ability called a drink and I know things, where I have to introduce like new elements or theories. I don't know if that's applicable to this situation, but I would like to say that bacteria people, Scintillians, can kind of like spread themselves out and create just like this like kind of disorienting like fog almost around an area.
Okay.
So not only like I do also have an ability where I can like push myself into small spaces, I also have the ability to kind of create like a disorienting fog
Like a
by
smoke
spreading
bomb.
myself out.
No,
You're not
absolutely
wrong.
not. What I will say real quick is that while I agree the Scintillians are able to move about and do stuff like beyond what other lineages can do. The drink and I know stuff ability is that you can create a chemical reaction that's not like a superpower, right? Um, you just know you're like, oh, this sort of thing, like some theory or legend or something to help you lower down the environment check. Now, here's the difference is getting you lower environment checks, but you cannot lower opposed rolls. So if you're like in a fight doing opposed with someone, you can't make that easier. However, if you are like with those pheromones that went off, you could have said like, you know what? I'm going to give everyone a huge bonus here by saying the inhalants in the air really cut down on the pheromones, so everyone can roll with a big bonus for this round because everyone gets this bonus, not just you. Um,
That was one skill or one ability I was not fully understanding, so that's why I
yep.
was trying to figure that. And I also have figured that I know my own abilities, so I know that I can kind of like
Yeah.
disperse myself like around the skunk person. Because that's what I was envisioning. Was like I was kind of like spreading myself out and creating like this thing that people can see through around the skunk person, and then just kind of like closing myself in on the wall,
Like a like
on the marble.
a entrapment, right? Like you're
Yeah.
tackling
So
her.
it's not a stealth bomb. It's not creating this weird thing. Like it seems like that, but then all of a sudden it's like, and now I'm this thing, and now I'm
Okay.
taking it with me. Like,
Yeah. Now that's fine. I am fine with that 100%. Because you're not doing any like weird like and then like blinded and it's like no, no. Yes, I love that description. You can like whoop, and kind of snap around her and you're just trying to grab the map. But where's this map?
balls.
Where do you think the map's
Yeah,
at?
it's a really good question. I was hoping when he said she had it that it meant it was in her hands.
Is
Would
that
I
what you want to
mean
try?
again like the collective consciousness thing? Is it something like as I create this like cloud around her, can I figure that out? Like,
Tell me what your foot.
can the little bacteria that's like right by her hip tell that it's in her pocket or whatever it might be?
What I'm gonna say, because narratively this is more fun, is you tell me what part of the body you're really focusing on, and if you get it right, you'll get a bonus. Otherwise, it'll just be a regular opposing roll.
Um, I am guessing. Oh gosh. Or when you describe this person, by the way, are they clothed?
Yes, she has a kind of a pink, what did I say, Victorian kind of
Oh yeah,
era
you did. A
dress on
Victorian
with the
dress.
leather.
I was fully envisioning the like Pepe Le Pew, like the girl he's always after, and she
Sure.
obviously does not have a pink Victorian dress.
Yes. Bustier, the whole nine yards.
Sure, sure, sure. Well, in that case, I'm going for the cleavage. It's let's
I
be
mean,
real.
of course. And of course you're gonna get a bonus. Of course I'm gonna keep it in the 'cause at first I was like, well, hand, right? Like, no, it's we're Three Musketeers in it, right? All right, sounds lovely. In the most consensual possible way, um, you make a grab. Uh, so go ahead and roll. You get a +3 to the total roll.
Okay, and what am I rolling?
This is gonna be like a vigor duel, right? Or
Okay,
a vigor. I'd be okay with a vigor valor, right? That might be interesting because you're physically doing this, right? Um,
right. Why would Valor? What? How do Valor and different in that scenario? Just out of curiosity. One
well,
says like example is rapiers, and one says athletics as examples of what skills might be in there. Why? Why would I pick one over the other? I guess is what.
it's up to you, right? Like with the duel, you can actually do damage as well, but I kind of figure that's like dueling physically with someone else, you know. The athletics
Sure.
is more like you're trying to like
Yeah.
do backflips away from stuff, but like I would see it like because you're not trying to hit her per se, you know.
Right.
I could see
Okay.
arguments for
Okay.
both.
That helps clarify that. Thank you. So I am not trying to hit her. So I'm gonna go with Valor, Vigor Valor.
Okay,
You're saying I get to roll 4d6 and add 3 without having
+3
to spend
total.
touch points. Just add.
Yeah, yep, exactly right.
I'm just is it okay if I just roll the 4d6 and then mentally add the 3? You
Yes,
want to see that
100%.
all on
Please
the
do. Okay, you're at 10. Do you,
yeah,
well, you're at 13. Do you want to
13.
spend a saga
I
point?
do. Yes, yes, I do. I'm gonna make
Okay.
it a 16.
All right. So you're at
And I
a
get a
straight up
second point back.
16.
Mm.
Damn it. Okay. You got it. You know what we should have done? Skullduggery.
I wondered that. I almost suggested that, but then you do you
How
want
many
to
dice? How many
retcon
dice?
that and for
Yes.
you for
How
test
many dice do you
playtesting
have in
purposes?
skullduggery?
Skullduggery vigor. Yeah, I have 3. So it would have been 1 less die.
Okay, so then we can retcon this. So think of this. Would you rather do it skullduggery? You're gonna have less dice, but if you grab it, she won't know that you grabbed it. Okay. But
because
if you
I'm
just
making
keep
this
it right.
right.
Otherwise, right
I like
now
it
you're
better, yeah.
succeeding, but she knows that you took it.
Right. I would rather try to do it without her noticing, if possible.
Okay, so re-roll 3d6. I will
Sorry, I did not
also
say that
re-roll.
out loud. You gave me suggestions and I rolled with it, and even though my brain had said, "What about skullduggery?" I didn't
Yeah,
say it out loud. But
yep. No, it's a big part of doing the game,
okay, so
right?
I'll roll it again. Is that what you want
Mm-hmm.
me to do? Is re-roll. Okay. So
All right,
3d6
you're
and I
the
get the
aggressor.
+3
Oh
still,
no.
right?
Yeah, you still get the plus
Oh
three.
no. That was fast, isn't it? So that's an 11. It's even worth spending a tension point for the one. I'm not looking at your number. I don't know what your number is to make this decision.
Okay.
Um, 11. Never know when 12 might make the difference. Oh wait, yeah. Why not? I'm still spending the saga point. Whatever. I'm getting it back, so not a big deal.
Okay, so you went with 12. I am going to spend
Yeah.
a tension point, just one because I got a 15. And you just brush across her negligee, and you know it's in there, but you didn't quite get it. She, you know what? No, no, this would make more sense. You have did this weird like bloop, right here, and you're caught with your hand in the cookie jar as she notices you. Okay, I've got Maul now. As Maul just kind of sits back as you kind of give him that insult as you walk away from the table. Maul just kind of raises his eyebrows. Is like, it's just a weird thing in here, and he cheers you and he slugs it back. You spent money on the good stuff, right? Yeah, I did not make his roll, so he like just slams it down and he's like, "Well, hopefully we can get this deal, Jim." And he just falls backwards into the chair. All right. Cassie just kind of steps back from the front of the bar and just kind of observes anything. She doesn't see any weapons being drawn. So she just is just kind of watching something. Like she's just kind of taking it all in. She's not taking any action, but she seems very still while she's waiting there. And then you already took care of Murdoch, and now the mugwump goes like, "Yes, Gareth, it is I, Reginald the Third. Please save me from this plight." The Iliad, you chosen to go last. Get your saga point and tell me why you're going last and what you do.
Yeah, I saw sort of the scatter, the bumping, everyone starting to move. There's probably people sort of not necessarily jumping, but sort of moving quickly toward. I didn't want to crunch anybody because no one's like doing anything wrong,
No.
right? So I don't want to just wade in there and hurt somebody on accident. So I'm big, I'm heavy, I could crunch people. So I decided to just hold back. And because of that, so do I see the hand in the cookie jar situation? Is that
Oh yeah.
as obvious as I'm thinking it is? Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And I probably did not see in all the action the whispered comment, but that tells me something's up. I'm just going to move in front of the door and
Okay.
block
I
it
mean, you're right
entirely.
there already, right? So yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, and if I'm in, I don't know what a holding an action might look like, but if Skunk Tail tries to go through, I'm going to grab the Zooey.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. So then, going back to the top of the round. Sorry, I should say at the very end of the round, you all begin to hear a weird sort of thumping sound coming from outside the bar. You see the wind start to pick up and the massive leaves that are around here start to rustle and start to blow a little bit more fiercely as you see a modified, really smaller open deck frigate gunship start to rise up from below the bar. A woman, a striking Harven woman with a kind of a metal jaw and a long, dusty trench coat and kind of a pirate's hat. She's grabbing onto a some sort of microphone. As there's a gunner set next to her and two pilots kind of working the controls as this contraption rises up from below. Right. Go around. Do you want to roll for initiative or you want to go last?
Did you say if we go last that we get a saga point?
Correct.
I think I'm willing to do that.
Okay. Ludwicka?
I think I'm rolling.
Uh, and
And
I'm
Sorry, what is it? Roll? We roll vigor, valor.
yeah. Unless you're doing something different. Iliod, what are you doing?
Nope.
um I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll.
Okay. Sounds good. Ludwicka, do
Well,
you
actually, can I just stay with my held action, waiting to respond? Can I just like respond
yeah,
after the skunk tail? I'll just go immediately after the skunk tail.
that is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. I don't know if that quite works, but because it's a new round, but you gave up a round, an action to do this. I think that's fine. Ludwicka, get the saga point. I got a tension point. And do you want to spend a saga point to go to 16?
I'm just at 17. What's that give me to? 16. Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
16.
16. Okay. You're going to
So
go first before everyone else.
I was caught, but I'm still not going to try to punch her. I'm just going to try to figure it out.
Okay. Now, at this point, you're not trying to pickpocket, right? You're just trying to grab.
Out. Just get it. Get it and get out.
Okay, sounds good. Roll your 4 dice.
I may have just texted Eric that sorry, texted Gareth that I also acknowledged that I have an advantage that lets me squeeze into tight spaces, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't use that advantage right now. I can't do it.
Hey,
But it crossed my mind that I can squeeze into very tight.
narratively, that is your power, and I think this would totally qualify if you want to.
I think since I got first initiative, I'm just gonna grab and get out.
Okay, sounds good. All right, you are the aggressor, so you roll first.
Okay, and I'm doing vigor valor, right? Is what we established. If it's I'm not trying to cause harm, I'm just trying.
Yeah. Oh, but way better roll. Okay. All right. Do you want to get a tension point? Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend one. Take it 14.
Okay. All right. I
Let me
am
make sure I still have
Jinx.
that to spend. I'm confident I do. I do.
What'd you get? 14? Okay. You got it. You have extracted the real star map that was trapped betwixt her bosom as you grab it out victoriously. All right. Then I have. Where did you end up, the Iliad?
I just sort of was going to be only
Oh,
responding,
right, right,
so I
right,
don't
right.
know how. Yeah,
Yeah,
whenever
yeah,
that
yeah.
goes.
Yeah, right. Okay. So I've got Gunner, the pilot, goes next, and he leans over. He's like kind of got his shoulder up against one of the ruffians that's kind of coming on the table to try and grab it from him. He's got a fist, and he's got his wrist like this. Is like, all right, Desi, come around. I'm coming out hot. All right, and then the Zooey who just deep intake of breath. My goodness. And she goes like, Madam, a woman always ask what kind of her would do this in our civilized world. She's going to take you to task. She is going to try and dishonor you in front of all these other people. Um,
Yeah. I deserve. That's why I didn't know about the squeezing between tight places. I was like, this is all is really bad. Yep, they're very dishonorable. I got it. It's dishonorable.
I got an 11 though. I kept everything I could. So this is going to be
Okay, what do I roll for this?
a panache valor to try and defend your honor.
Did you spend a tension point on that? Is that how it works?
Yes, I spent a tension point on there to
Okay,
get 11.
cool.
Hey, before you, okay,
Oh, sorry, I already rolled.
nope, that's great. I was going to
So is
say,
it meets and beats, or do I fail no matter what right now?
so
Like if
I'm
I
the
spend the tension
aggressor. So
to
if
top
I
it,
match or better, I win. But this is an
it's not worth
opposed
spending.
check that I'm trying to have you lose honor, right? So the more I
Mm-hmm.
beat you by, the more honor damage you take.
Got it. So I should still take the. I have one saga point left, so
I don't
tis.
know. They're pretty valuable.
I know, but I was getting a lot at the beginning, so I was like, yeah, I can spend, I can get them back, and now I'm like, oh well, we'll see if I get it back. But yes, I will spend it so that it's. Oh,
Okay.
thank you for
How
clarifying about
can you tell me
the.
how do you brush off this impugning of your honor?
I try to turn it back on her. Well, madam, it is also dishonorable to try to sneak away with stolen goods hidden where you did.
He seems like just
And
clutching
I
her
like
pearls, right?
I know it's like obvious that like I don't want people to know that I have the thing, but also like I'm clear you have a thing that everybody here wants.
Yep. Perfect. All right, so that was Jinx's action, the Zooey. Um, so Iliad, what would you like to do?
Um, I'm going to note that Gareth seems to have things. I don't. Why is he trying to? Is he going to pet the mugwump? I'm going to. They're being really fancy. Lady Ludwicka, let me get you out of this place. I'm going to. I don't know. Are you a lady? I just said it anyway. Lady Ludwicka. I'm going to get you out of here and pick her up and walk out the door.
Oh, okay.
I, I'm fairly certain Ludwicka has the map, so I'm going to get us out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I'm
I
out.
totally when I took it, it got hidden in the midst of my bacteria. Like you
Okay, I got
can't
Vergou.
visibly see, but it is somewhere in my yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to take on the guardian role and grab and go.
Okay. I am
Love it.
going to have you do a general. Yeah, someone's gonna try and make a grab at it. Some ruffian, right? Just do a one-time check of vigor, probably dual. Or, well, you tell me, I guess, depending what you want to do. Uh, a person that's at the bar, closer to the bar, is gonna just try and make a grab at Ludwicka's arm, where the map might be at. Ludwicka's already gone, but you can, since you're taking on the Guardian role here, you can stop it.
Yeah, I'm going to give him the full Heisman. Just pow. Just
Okay.
whoosh. Yep. No, I
All
don't
right.
want to hurt them, but I will push them back and away.
Okay. Sounds good. I've got a bunch of tension. Well, actually, I'm starting to run down a little bit, but I'm going to spend it to keep it. So I've got a 13.
Dual vigor, right?
Yeah.
So, well, 2 tension, and I got a saga. I'm going to have to burn a saga. That'll get me up to 17.
Okay.
But you got 2 tension on that one.
I did. And you get a saga point. All right. So 1, 2. So I mark it down. Okay. This is how I was hoping this would turn out. Wonderful. You smash this guy. Remember, it's only lethal if you want
Oh,
it to be. Um, I am going to say that you definitely smash this guy going with your character's sort of thing. Can you tell me what that looks like?
yeah. I mean, he's not like structurally damaged, but when I grab his head and push him down, he just face plants hard right into the floor. Blossom of blood as he rolls back and away, clutching his nose, embarrassed, but ultimately not really hurt that bad.
Okay,
He'll have some bruising. And I think the Iliad will say, "Oh, sorry," but then hit the door anyway. Oh,
perfect.
Oh, oops, sorry.
All right,
sorry.
heading out the door. Mull is knocked out. Cassie from behind the bar after seeing this gunship start to come up from underneath. She reaches underneath the counter of the bar to pulls out some sort of laser pump shotgun sort of thing. And she levels it at the gunship outside of it. And it was like, "Ugh, boys, we've got some visitors that might need some repelling." And it's now the mugwump turn to go. He's like, "Ah, yes, friend Gareth, I see you coming." It is now Gareth's turn.
Okay. Uh, is Cassie fair? I mean, she's really paying attention to the gunship, and for that matter, I am too. Uh, but I'm just gonna take my cloak off and like set it on the bar. Take Reginald out of his aquarium, put him in my cape, roll it up under my arm, and then I'm going to go hide behind the bar while people shoot each other.
Okay. I'm going to assume you don't want anyone to notice that you did this. Yeah.
As much as possible, you bet.
Okay. I'm going to require this to be a skullduggery. Now, on the plus side, there is a gunship that is going to draw a lot of people's attention. So I'll give you a +3 total to the roll.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh, I forgot. All right, you let me grab that tension point. So now we're at 2, making our way back up. All right, the Iliad. What I need from you. I'm not going to have you roll because I want everyone to see this. We're going to go through. I knew it was going to be the third one if we ever got there. Is that we're going to do a revelation. Okay. Give you some time to think about it when we come back around to your next turn. Is this in this current scene? Who do you think is linked to your untold story and why? If you want to earn everyone a unity point, tie it to another covenant member in a negative way. So think about that. We're at the end. Do you want to tell me, Gareth, what that looked like? I mean, you did a great job. Actually, yeah, you already told me. You did a great job, like cloaking it up, and like you kind of casually rolled over the top of the bar. All right. At the end of the round, the woman out there who anyone that has a military background recognizes this woman. She is a mercenary for hire. She's known as Al Atet, and she screams into the microphone that reverbs harshly as she goes like, "All right, you scum, give me the map. Throw the person who has it to the street below and I'll pick it up. Okay, that's the end of the round. We're gonna go back to the top unless you're ready. The Iliad, are you ready for your story or do you want to wait? Need a little bit more time.
I'm gonna reveal it at my initiative.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we're at a new round. Do you want to roll for initiative or you just want to go last?
I'm gonna roll.
Okay. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, it
I'll go
looks like
last.
Cassie is
Go
about
on.
to
All
fire.
right.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah. Never mind. Just kidding. I was just determining if I wanted to roll or not, but I think I decided I'm gonna roll based on what you just said. So thank you for all intents and purposes. Cassie is gonna fire.
I want to be able to yell something before everybody else.
Okay.
Can I use a wit skullduggery to do that for my initiative?
Yeah, if that's your only action you're doing, yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Okay.
only action, quote unquote action. Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
That's the main part of my action. You bet.
I'm gonna do that and then stab Cassie. Wait, no.
God,
All
I'm
right.
rolling out of tension.
Okay, I got two more tension out of that. No, one. Wow, good roll, Ilya. Let's take the perfect roll. Bunch of fives, right? And Ludwicka. All right, so I get two tension total. Puts me at 4. That's good. I will say, you guys have rolled a lot more tension than any other group so far. Don't know why. It's just interesting how the dice go sometimes.
Mhm.
Okay. Is anyone above a 13? Okay. Above the thumping of the kind of copter type, it's, it's like a giant canopied screw going up and down to keep the machine aloft. You hear a high whining sound coming from kind of the opposite direction as you see um Gunner start to sprint across the room, pull laser pistol, shoot at the front window, and burst his way through it. Just at the same time as which must be the ride Desi that he called as he leaps out of the window onto the passing. So right now, Desi's right below you guys as Gunner's making his escape. All right. 12 with Jinx the Zooey. She is going to. Oh, wait, no. You guys kind of walked out the front door. Well, she's going to yell and point, goes like, the Scintillian has it! She's given up all pretense of being drunk at this point, obviously. And she's going to scream, the Scintillian have it! Is there a reward? Uh, Al Atet is going at 9. Did anyone beat that?
I have an 11.
Okay.
10.
Is Gunner a Scintillian? Is that who she was pointing towards?
No, Gunnar is a Caxian. He jumped out the front door. Yeah, she's pointing at Ludwicka.
Oh, great. Uh, then I'm going to yell just as convincingly, like, no, Gunner hasn't. He just blew out the window and jumped after him. I saw him. The map flew off the table. Get him.
Okay, so you're gonna try and convince me of something. There's a couple different options that we can go here. You tell me which one you want to use, and we'll roll some dice.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of like debate, sort of a wits duel. How's that sound?
Yeah, I'm up for charm. What I was thinking was I'm up for charm. I'm up for even command or
Yeah.
Like I think there's a lot of different things, or even skullduggery because you're trying to bluff.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of
Is it
different ways you can take this one.
a quick
Yeah.
question? Is it a does that also include who he's competing against? Could it be something between uh, uh, Gareth and Al, or could it be something between Gareth and the Zooey? Is that part of the decision?
Ooh, that could be fun. Yeah, I like that. You're dealing with each other about who's more convincing
I mean, I guess
on.
maybe I don't know. Maybe it depends on what Gareth was hoping to hope what the action would be. I suppose might determine
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I guess I definitely want Al to turn her attentions to Gunner and not to my crew. That's like
Yeah.
the big thing. So I give
Okay.
orders. I think would be kind of close then too, like a panache and a command.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. I'm totally fine with that. I know how many dice I'm going to roll. You're the aggressor, so you roll first.
Okay.
Mhm. And then after this round, ooh, okay. All right. So I assume you're probably not going to spend any saga points.
No, no,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Now, Al is pretty savvy.
Wolf.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, evidently.
So
Oof.
you yell out, that's Gunner. Al, you hear Al tell the gunner, it's like, aim for the Scintillian. And all right, so that was at 11 and then 10, the Iliad.
10.
Are you okay?
I'm gonna look Al in the face and say, "Hey, Al, good to see you again." Al is the person who I lied to about being able to pay them to get me to sneak me off of my planet away from my cult.
Okay.
So I have history with the big bad pirate, and
Okay.
I owe her money, and I lied to her.
All right. On your character sheet, under the first untold storyline, put that in. Okay.
What was Al's last name again?
The first name is Al 10. Exactly how it sounds. Okay. So you paid her
I
to
said I
smuggle
would.
you. Well, you said
I
you
said
did.
I would pay her. Yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't have any money because you were in a cult. Okay. All right. I love it. So we've got the beginnings of some reoccurring characters, that's for sure. I love it.
You said that there was a net and vines and stuff hanging
No,
below.
not like a net, just some random vines. Um, you
What
know,
would it take to leap for one and swing to
o-
safety?
okay, for one person to
Oh,
live,
no, yeah. Well,
uh,
I've got Ludwicka with me.
right. All right. So I was going to wait till next round to suggest this, but you're already asking the right questions. 30. You're going to need a 30.
I'm pretty sure I can't do that. All right.
However, let's bring up one of the
What
mechanics of
if
the
I
game.
tell him he can drop me? He can drop me if he wants. What if I
Yeah.
tell him that? I tell him that.
Well, here is part of one of the mechanics of the game that we didn't go over at the beginning because this is how I've been training this or teaching this game too, is that you may choose to do an all for one roll, which is everyone pools their dice together. It costs you one unity point each, right? Which right now you guys earned a unity point, right? Because of yeah. So if all three of you decide to do the same type of action, we'll go into a little bit of a vignette cutscene where you guys describe what your character is doing to help out in the process. Roll the dice and we'll pool them all together. You spend saga points the same way and all that. So now knowing that,
I'm going to offer an alternative. I would think this would be athletics of vigor, valor. And this sounds like a opportunity for me to experience my certain doom. I can invoke my ability for that was a close one, where I succeed any valor skill check by 1. So I am going to just take 3 steps and leap off, cradling Ludwicka, grab the vine, and swing around over to the other side of the tree and keep running down the stairs.
okay,
And that was a close one.
yes, you use your ability, and yeah, that's exactly how the ability is supposed to. You escape certain badness. Now, I am going to do a check on holding on to Ludwicka. I am going to do that.
Okay.
So that will be a Valor Vigor, but not a big one. We'll default it at 9. That's fine. Because you are pretty buff. You know what? Honestly, no. Never mind. No roll for that. No roll. You got it. You you invoke your ability. Okay. Gareth, you see your companions swing away from the bar without you.
Yeah. Uh, okay.
All right, so that was at 11:10, and now I go at 9 with Allotet. Okay. So you swing around to the other side.
I also have how do ties work.
You go first with ties. This is the hero genre, so in ties you guys get to go first. That's cool.
Um, I was gonna use my. Oh, do I have saga points? I think about saga points. Never mind. Skill I was gonna use, but I cannot. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be like, you can put me down now. I can just run next to you. um, and just try to like run and find like a discreet spot. Is there like a hide of some kind? So
Yeah,
like
yeah. If
I can
you
just like let people run past and not know that I'm there. I was gonna squeeze into a tight space, but I don't have any saga points to spend for that. So
gotcha. Yeah, you can just do like a regular hide sort of thing because the gunship is going to try and swivel around, right? For 2
mm,
reasons: recognizing the Iliad, and also being told that Scintillian has the star map.
right.
So you kind of look around looking for a place to
That
hide.
part, that was the other part I was gonna do. Was gonna be like, Iliad, do you have some place to hide this?
I
You're
don't
not
have
close.
any
You don't have
clothes.
pockets or anything.
No. I should get some of those.
I will keep it because I was gonna hand it off to you and have you run and be a distraction and be like, "Yeah, I have it," but I don't have it. But you don't have a way to hide it, so I will hang on to it and go find someplace to hide.
But if you're just starting your turn, you can probably go and run and hide, and the ship might then Al might focus on me.
Okay, yeah, if you want to do
Yes. What
hide,
would be like a hide?
so it'd be a
What would that be?
skullduggery check, probably vigor skullduggery, or maybe wits,
Vigor,
depending
sneak.
on
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll do sneak. That's fine. So vigor, skullduggery. Where did he die?
Oh.
Get that saga point back that I've been wanting. Wasn't good. I spend it right away to go squeeze into 10 places.
That's the next turn. Okay, so it's Alatet's turn. Get moving the gunship around the ship. You hear the reports of gunfire. laser fire going off, just stitching marks around the tree, just coming around to your side that you've gone away. You've managed to outpace the gunship for now in Al-Tet. However, next round she's going to come around and have a dead-on shot with you, unless something happens, right? Maul knocked out. Cassie, you hear Gareth. You're the one that hears this, right? Cassie's trying to rally the bar to the defense of one of their own. And the mugwump is like, ah, good plan, friend Gareth.
What a neato friend I have now. This is going to be great. Okay.
So to set the scene, the gunship has left to go around to the other side of these huge mungus trees, just shooting away. Gunner's jumped out the front door, about to land into his escape ship with Desi. Cassie's trying to get people around. Your two friends have swung away. Um, Jinx is just like, she's just like, ah!
Am I up?
Yeah, it's your turn. Yeah, because you went last, right?
No. I went on 11. The
Oh,
term
did everyone?
the round before this,
Gotcha. Oh,
I
okay.
was last. But I think on this turn I'm on 11, right?
11, 10, right, okay. So yeah, and then everyone went. I'm sorry. Yep. Okay. So we're getting back around. What is your guys' plan here?
Did you, if I may,
Yeah.
did you say that the top of the of the ship has like a whirly thing on the top, some sort of thing?
Yep.
Uh, since I'm in the kind of the weird position of seeing it from the top, I'm assuming if I get to the right spot on the stairs going down, uh, when I do I see something in the bar that if it were to drop into that would really fuck up the ship?
Yeah, maybe. Sure.
Okay, I might be
Uh,
thinking about that then.
okay, sounds good. Ultimately, this is the part where you're going to be overpowered by the gunship, probably. So escaping is what we're going to be looking at, right? So to show how the system works for the people at home is that usually once per adventure, the group gets to do one big thing. And this one big thing could be escaping. It could be taking out the gunship. It could be whatever you decided. So let's flex the muscles of the system a little bit. And if you guys want to talk about what would be something you guys can maybe work together to try and do. And that way we can also kind of keep this within close to 2 hours.
I,
Oh,
I kind of like that
Mm.
idea of throwing something from above and maybe I don't know. What do you both think? Basically damaging the ship and us escaping as opposed to us just running for it.
Yeah,
I'm up for just flat out running too. So
me too.
And I feel bad that we left somebody back behind at the turn. Makes the running feel a little weird, but I like the doing damage. Um,
this was the plan all along. I would bring him down a level.
Fine. Uh, and honestly, if the two in front of me are able to get away, I think that a lot less of the heat is on me.
oh yeah.
So I have a
Sure.
sort of unique position to be able to kind of see what's going on to those guys and be able to react to it. So I think that rather than me out myself as part of this crew, if I think there's a chance for escape, I think we should probably do that first. But I could be persuaded another way.
I'm all about escape.
Escape by damaging the ship or escape by just running for it.
You know what? So how these plans can work out. So like if one of you wants to damage the ship, the other person just wants to look for a hiding spot, and another person wants to, I don't know, run
Distract the
mechanical
pilots.
right, distract the pilots. Because the actions don't all have to be the same. You just have to be working in concert with each other to create a narrative big thing that you're trying to do. And I will have you will hear Ludwicka, you will hear Cassie scream your name that you promised her. I'm gonna have you lose. Was it 4 honor?
I know, because the window got broken out.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I had already figured out that that was not. Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
4. That was 4 honor. Yep.
Yeah.
I have to pay for that, right?
Yeah.
I told her I'd pay for any happened. I probably don't have money to do that unless we finish this job. So I gotta finish the job so I can pay for that.
All right. So who wants to do what in this plan?
I was hoping now I do have a saga point and I would like to use my ability to squeeze into small spaces to just like essentially go like put this thing somewhere little that no one can find and then like leave it until chaos dies down.
Okay.
It's not on me, but it also like I feel confident that it won't be found.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. So you're gonna do a hiding check of some sort. Okay.
Yeah.
A stashing check. So think about what conflict you're gonna roll for that.
I'm gonna
Gareth?
try to. Oh, I was gonna say I was gonna try to engage and distract so that to give Gareth space to do whatever he's gonna do.
Okay.
So some sort of engaged talking. Um, I'm not quite sure what that looks like. It
I think
certainly doesn't feel. Is it? I don't know that it's command. Maybe like dual wits.
charm if you're just trying to get their attention, right? Trying to impress them, engage with them.
Sure.
Um, I think I would be fine with command as like a taunt, panache taunt as well to try and draw them that way. Um,
Oh boy.
maybe panache valor. Yeah. I think there's a couple options there for you. So you're trying to get Altet's attention even more
Tension.
than you have. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Gareth?
I think we have to go back to damaging it somehow. Uh, I think that I would try to. Uh,
Throw the motor into the propellers.
no, that's horrible. I'm gonna take my knife and uh, cut one of the guide wires that is like above, attached to the thing. Cut one of those that goes into the whirly bit. Have it get caught up in that.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Sounds good. So does everyone feel comfortable with what attribute and skill they're going to roll? All right, get ready because we're going to roll them all at once here.
Do I need to state like I would like to use my squeeze into tight spaces
You still have to
ability?
do it. You have to do a
Advantage?
conflict. You have to do a conflict. So,
Right. I'm just saying like
yeah.
within that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yep. I know.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, on the count of three, 3, 2, 1, roll them. I'm trying to beat a 30. Okay. 1, 2, only 2 tension. All right. Not a problem. Okay. So with Gareth, right? 7, Ludwicka 10, so you're at 17, 11 from the Iliad. So you're at 28 without spending any saga points.
I
And
have a
what did
couple
I
saga spends, so I can spend one.
Okay, what did I say? I said 30.
Yep.
I meant 40, but that's fine. I'm not gonna change you. I'm not gonna change it on you now. It's my fault. Yeah, perfect. 40. So the plan all working together, Ludwicka like is able to squeeze into this like crevice of the tree to be able to hide the star map before leaping off and escaping herself. Gareth has slashed one of the iron rod cores as the um, swings down into the copter type screw thopter sort of thing, while the Iliad is running down in an opposite direction from where Ludwicka was at. As Tet was like, "Bring me the head of the Iliad." As she's like, "What?" Oh, as the battle gunnership starts to go slide down and down until disappearing into the canopy of the much larger trees as the three of you make your escape. You come back much later when things are very much more relaxed. As you give it a day, you wait to go back to the tree to go pick it up. As you go back, you see a single figure standing near the knot of the tree. You recognize it as the pilot that you saw in the bar. He appears unarmed. In it also appears that he is trying desperately to look unarmed as well. And I need Gareth to roll a d6. Okay,
Two.
perfect. What do you three do?
I mean, we're literally climbing up the steps to up the side of the tree, right?
Yeah. And the pilot hasn't seen you. Like, you can try and ambush him if you want, or just go up and talk to him, or whatever. He seems to be desperately trying
So you'd
not to be.
actually be looking at this spot? Or is he
He's
just
almost right
standing
on
there? He
top
just
of
happens
it.
to be standing.
Yeah, he's almost right on
Right, but
top
is
of
he
it.
like he's looking for it?
No,
Or is he just happens to be right there?
he's standing just almost on top of it. He's not trying to get it, though.
To him.
What was that?
I said, I'll talk to him.
Okay. All right.
Uh, good.
No, as you get closer, he just turns towards you and just kind of raises up his webbed fingers, and he's like, "Hey, kids, I don't think you know what you got there. Are you working for someone?"
What do you think we got?
Well, I've been tracking these idiots for a couple planets now. Uh, that that doesn't go to the treasure, doesn't go anywhere good. I, you're gonna have to believe me, but that star map leads to an old decommissioned battle station that the companies used to have near one of our trading routes. You you just gotta blow it up. That's what I like. We can't let anyone have that. That'll give too much of an advantage in this area. And I look. I could have just come here and grabbed it, but there's something that I'm not quite. I can't quite figure out in this moment, Gareth. You know that Gunner knows something about your covenant. He's involved. If the three of you want to take a second to think about what that is, or if you have a really good idea of what that might be.
Hmm.
Mechanically, how this worked is that he actually rolled the same number on the tension table that's already been rolled. That's going to trigger my revelations for the covenant.
Hmm.
Look, I don't want to
So,
have to fight you kids.
so what about what if he's the one who has to take us there?
Yeah, he's part of it, but he's not. We know he's not in the covenant necessarily, but we've had that part of the dream where we know that he takes us there. Essentially, I like that.
Is that what it is? That Gunner somehow is the shepherd?
Yeah.
Do you want to explain that to him?
Uh,
Well, first of all, I guess, what do you say about him saying, like, give me the star map and I'm going to go blow that up? Me and Desi will take care of it. I I don't want to fight you. I know you're going to take an honor hit by not completing a contract, but you have to believe me, it's worth it for whoever gets a hold of that. It's going to be an imbalance in this part of the world.
uh, are off the record, not talking to dude. Just for my clarity,
Yes.
how big of a bashing of the honor would it be to give Gunner a head start so that like part of the map be able to tell him where to go and then still give the map to Cardinal Rand, right?
Mm, okay.
We have to give the map to Cardinal Rand. We'll do that. But as far as who gets to go there and blow what up, we don't know anything about that yet. If that gets Gunner off our back, and since I would rather not let him know that he takes us there, even though I know that somehow he takes us there. So I would rather say, hey, we'll tell you where to go. We're not going to give you the whole map, but we'll give you like the first piece that'll set you on your way. And if you get there
Okay.
and blow it up, you blow it up.
So you share the map, but you're like you're not going to give all of it until maybe you give him a lot of it, and then you give him like the rest of it when you after you hand it off to Cardinal Ram. Is that
Sure,
kind of the plan?
sure. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Because we know that when we go back and find him that next time, that somehow he's gonna end up taking us there anyway, right? That's what Fate's kind of told us. He is our shepherd. Maybe that's not the one time, but he's
Somewhere.
going to
Is he
eventually.
taking us there, or is he taking us somewhere else? He's taking us somewhere.
We're connected to him. We have to come back and see him again anyway. We're going to.
He's part of the journey.
Agreed.
Maybe he's. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He has some
I
sort of
said agreed.
mugwump right next to you, Rachel.
Right. You do have Richard the Third as
Tell me
well.
about
Reginald.
Reginald the Third.
it. Or did you keep him? You didn't just like save him and then put him back in his
Well, no,
terrarium as
that's
the
No,
that's
guardian?
my
it's
fault.
us. He's
Yeah, he
he's
wanted to
on
be
the home
captain.
base now. Yeah, he's my mugwump. Reginald's my guy. I kind of
Uh,
like him now.
so you cut the deal with Gunner, and he's just like, "All right, I thought there was something about this crew. I think, I don't know. Yeah, send me those coordinates when they're ready. I'll be at the spaceport ready to take off.
You got it, kid.
Hmm. See you around. With the information, Desi rises up, right? They've got
Yeah.
their own little speeder ship, but that's much more of a futuristic, like this thing is built for speed, much more of a smuggling skiff that probably leads to a larger ship that they have. So he jumps off, they take off. Then you hear, friend Gareth, thank you for honoring your deal. Your reward is that once you place me into the rivers below,
Hmm.
I will grant you one reading. In my, from my world, I'm a powerful diviner of the future. So what you can do is you're going to get a condition. So conditions work just like in the Cursed Riders. You put it on your character, and it's not going to be like blessed. It's going to be just divine. Just put divine. You can use it once. You can ask one question with a 50% chance of it being right.
I don't love those odds.
Hey, you know what? I think you're right. That's not fair. That's not fair. Um, 1 in 6 will be wrong. So
That
50,
sounds fun.
yeah,
I'll play
15%,
that game.
15% chance he tells
Yeah.
you. And you whisper the question into Reginald's uh ear hole flap thing or whatever,
Hmm.
and he telepathically gives you the answer back. But that can be used for a later time, and that's a story that we'll tell later.
So I've done this already, and then I decide what that information was when we get there.
Yep, because
Love
you've
it.
divined it. You just happen to know the right question to ask.
Okay.
And you return the star map to Cardinal Ram. She's very pleased with the information. You send off the last bits of coordinates to your connected person gunner, and you are now free to follow your destinies as it is. So, congratulations! That's our first mission in Honorbound. I hope it was fun. We ended up going about what 2.5 hours for the intro, and that's been basically kind of what's been going on. We can go longer or shorter. I know we could have drawn that out a little bit more for sure. But it felt about the right time. I'm also getting super sick, and I apologize for that. So thank you
Yeah,
guys.
I didn't feel like it felt rushed or anything. No, I thought that felt a good length.
That is awesome. So at this point, if everyone was watching to see kind of how the system worked and all that, there you go. There's a 2.5 hour kind of review of everything, except on your characters. We're going to be using these characters in the future. So I have one more just one shot adventure that's going to be about the same length, 2.5 hours. That's going to be focusing on using the other set of skills that we didn't really use on this one. So crew. So it's going to be on a ship. What else do I have on it? You used inquiry quite a bit, but there is an inquiry component in the next one, as well as command and charm. You guys use command quite a bit, so maybe it's more about charm on that one, and maybe a little bit more mysticism on it. So you guys get to earn some experience points that we talked about before starting. So start off, everyone gets 1 experience point for participating. So good job there. After that, is there something bold that you guys would say that your character did? And I'm trying to figure out if the Iliad swinging around there was a bold action because he knew he would succeed. So I don't know if that's a bold action or not. So I can't tell. I'm not quite sure.
It was certainly swashbuckling, but that may not be the same thing as bold.
Yes, it was a good story, and maybe that's what I should put it to, is more of a wow thing. Because I think everyone could argue some sort of wow or that we were impressed by another question. And I fully hope that you guys argue for each other because you're in this group all for one. I thought there was some fun, interesting storytelling that we'll be able to explore moving forward. And I hope that part was really good for you. So, should I just go around the circle? Like, do you think you did something bold, Gareth?
Uh, I don't know how bold it was, but I think my revelation of is that the right map or not, and
Yeah.
being right about it was important, or else really could have been going off on something completely different. Um, I'd say it was smart. I don't know if it was bold.
I actually, you know what? I really
Also,
liked.
approach.
What was that?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I mean, you approached the card game and you said like you took initiative to approach the situation. I thought that was bold.
Yeah, I also really liked the part where you gave your flourish leaving the table. I actually really like that a lot. So yeah, for sure. I'll give you a point for that.
Yeah, cool.
Ludwicka, the Iliad, do you have something you can think of?
Um, going on, do my little cloud, grab the thing on the Zooey.
Yeah, I think yeah, that was a good moment for sure. The Iliad, do you have one that you want to point out?
Yeah, I would go. Yeah, for me, the swashbuckling, if that classifies, great. If not, no problem.
I
Um,
I
I
also nope, you go.
oh, I was going to say I don't know that asking a thug to go re-examine his life is exactly bold, but
But I loved it so much. That was the other thing I was going to bring up. So yes, I think everyone should get a point for being bold. Did you expand? So now the rest of the experience points are: did you examine or build world building on your lineage? So like the
Oh,
anything about
yeah.
your Iliad, like being an Iliad, what that means, or Scintillian or Harven, or your legacy, being the lover or the hero or the philosopher, did you really add something to this world in that direction? Or your calling, right? Being the agent. Um, like this one might be a little bit tougher just because we're getting used to the characters. But yeah, Eric, you had something?
Yeah, I think craft cards for
Ooh,
operator, like it's something that spy.
yeah, love it. Yeah, 100%. Definitely take that. Yeah, I should just go over some of my notes here. Yeah, that was really good. I like for the Iliad the cult thing. Now, is that for all Iliads? Is that something that just happened after they became unenslaved from the
oh,
Company Wars? Did they all form like their own little cults, or is that
yeah,
just where you're from?
yeah, I don't. Yeah, it wasn't all Iliads, right? But certainly with our connection to the essence, like in this sort of like harmony thing that all of us like crystal humming our communication system would lead to some groups falling into these pods that would potentially do this, where seek to reconnect to the essence in some way. Um, yeah, I think it's maybe more common among the Iliad than others, and also Iliads don't wear clothes; they just do it out of politeness to other
Yeah,
groups.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. That's a nice touch, especially in a world where it's supposed to be like all the chivalry, romance, like all the lineages and the species or whatever are all about. This is supposed to be a very kind of thirsty environment, so for sure, I love it. Ludwicka, do you have something that you want to throw out there?
The fact that I can make like a bacteria cloud is one of the forms I can take on.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Yeah, that was cool. Anyone think about like their? Well, yeah, you guys kind of went through all of them. If there's anything else you can think of, please let me know. So then the experience points
Ooh.
where you can spend them on is you probably don't have enough yet. I am doing something different for the experience points. I'm making them flat purchases, and we'll see how that works. Because one thing that I like about what we've done by simplifying the system, or at least it's also 5, right? Oh, I did them backwards. Hold on. Sorry. Ability 20, advantage 10, attribute point 20, health or honor point 10, skill point 5. That's what it should be. So, so I just need to change this to 20, change this to 10, right? 20, 10, 20, 10, 5. 20, 10, 20, 10, 5. Oh, got it. Jeez. So 5 is the cheapest thing. So I don't think anyone can even buy anything right now. But there you go. That's what is going to cost as. One thing I like about this is because there is an end to this campaign, right? Um, hopefully I'll put together. Many of you guys get to play in the mini campaign, the Aeronaut's Revenge. And it's very possible that your guys' Covenant story will end before that mini campaign ends. Now, we'll continue with it, we'll end it, and then we can do the wrap up of the Covenant afterwards, or maybe during, depending when it triggers off, right? I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, we are at the end of the night. We're approaching 3 hours here. I appreciate everyone's patience and love it. Is there any post-mortem things that you want to mention? I can also send out this, which I'm going to anyway, which is a little survey thing. Takes like 5 minutes. And it's asking about the encounter as well as the system. You guys have seen the system in action mostly already. Was there anything that didn't? First, let me ask, what would you like to see more of? Really, the two questions I'm going to ask are like, what do you want to see more of, and what didn't work for you?
I think with maybe not in this session, but establishing our relationships more before we started playing. Because not only we didn't really have much of a plan, but we also didn't really know how each other operated other than stats wise what we've heard each other talk about. So
Yeah.
like not really knowing strengths and weaknesses. Like I mean, we faked our way through it just fine, obviously. But yes, I think and just being able to role play a little bit so that we know what we're gonna do when we get there. A little bit.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. So you wanted a little bit more of the relationship moving forward. All right, what were you saying, Rachel?
I was gonna say something very similar about like it would have been nice to like there not being as much plan time, like unlimited. Like it wasn't like we could just get analysis paralysis and end up like the whole time. I appreciated that, but a little bit of plan time, like structured some way that so like you have 10 minutes of real time or whatever it might be, but
Yeah,
a little bit to like build up like how our characters interact with each other and like we go in and maybe I would have mentioned that I did talk to Cassie. It kind of just like there wasn't that moment to do so other than immediately when I learned the information.
yeah. Okay, right on.
Uh,
So
I,
those are the
I
things. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the way that the new information entered, right? Sort of what were some pieces about the environment, each of us sort of naming a piece. And then when it was time for more information with Cassie or with my, what is it called? my backstory. I thought those integrated very nicely. And yeah, same. If how do we sort of walk that back to starting out with a piece to build between us?
Okay. So starting
And
relationships, put a little bit more on there. Now, last time I had this huge chart that you guys worked through. Maybe I don't know if I want to bring out that whole thing back again, get establishing your guys' relationships, but maybe might be okay.
I don't
But
even know if we need to know exactly like not specifics or not even like how do you know this person, how do you feel about them, but just literally having some sort of environment where we all three have to talk to each other and we
mm,
get to find out like what other people sound like and what their attitude is
okay,
and what their personality is. And I think that makes it the role playing part a lot easier if we
sure,
already know something about that because we didn't know any of it going in really. So I think it
yeah,
gives us a chance to kind of play off each other and uh, I don't know.
or maybe even it's as simple as us describing sort of passing the ball around, right? Sort of the talking stick where we sort of tell a quick story about a previous engagement. Where I start out, yeah, the first time we met, we were standing in a spaceport, waiting for our ship to arrive. Eric, right?
that
And
could
then
be.
I mean, even something that simple, right? It could be just, it, and then that way it doesn't have to be sort of trying to spool up a conversation from scratch with no context, right? That we just tell a story rather than that tells how we interacted rather than forcing us to try to role play that. I don't know.
And I think it was Jerod who used this with us with another game. Uh, the sort of getting to know each other, and I've stole it for stuff that I do too. Where like oh, Ludwicka. Do you know Ludwicka? And what is the craziest thing about them that you remember? Or you know what I mean? Like we kind of go around
Yeah.
the circle and we're making up stuff, and sort of gives us a chance to bounce off each other that way too.
Okay. Yeah, I really like that because the game is a lot about relationships and then having these unexpected ties with each other that you didn't know that you had before, is trying to establish something ahead of time. So instead of doing, oh, um, what do you do to get ready for the adventure? Instead, the prompt will be like, what did you do with one of the other people? And then kind of go around in a circle and then just go back around the other way next time. And it can be like not necessarily how you met, but like uh the more weird the prompt, the better, right? Like what's the craziest thing you've seen this person eat, or like and why do you have to make a conflict roll out of it? Like, oh well, we stole this pie, and or something, something weird like that. That's pretty fascinating. Like, because that's the thing that all friends have are these weird stories you have about each other. I can just make a list of stuff like that. That's a really cool idea to throw into a game. And if you start with one with someone, that's really cool. So then when they eventually stab you in the back, makes it that much more heartbreaking. So yeah, that's
Agreed.
great.
Yes. Yep. Good work.
How, as far as mechanically goes, you said Aaron brought up introducing the new information about how you're tied by your untold stories, right? When you rolled on the tension table, did that feel like it had enough of an impact? Like, so we had the mugwump got introduced, right? The untold story got revealed. The covenant reveal happened, and there was give me one moment. Cassie was revealed with Ludwicka. So not necessarily introducing enemies, but introducing complications or links to other like unexpected relationships that maybe you didn't know before. Did that work for you guys? And giving you the option of getting unity points, should that still be a choice or should I make that mandatory? I have several back and forths of why I set it up the way that I did. I just want to hear what you guys say about it, and I'll take those into consideration.
How many
I
Unity
liked having
points
it as a
did we get?
choice. I thought
Go ahead, Rachel.
I mean, we didn't get mine out of it. I failed that one real hard. But I think getting the choice in it made me more aware of. I mean, like I would have been aware of it had it been like required to. It gave me more like a. I wanted to protect the bar, but I also needed to do this job. Like, where I think had it been assigned, it would have been like, oh crap, now I have these two things I have to do. Or like I tried, like I wanted to do this thing, but it just wasn't gonna happen, and that was like my choice that I opted to. Well, mostly my choice that I opted to do what I needed to do for the job and lose the honor. Getting picked up and carried out, not totally my choice, but also helpful for the job. So great.
Sorry.
No, I liked it, and it was appropriate and fit very well into what needed to happen. But as you were picking me up and carrying me away, I was also like, I can't help Cassie protect her bar. That's okay. Like I had to like make it this like conscious choice that wasn't so much like a mandatory thing, but it was like I had some ownership over like wanting to help Cassie with her bar,
Yeah.
and just a requirement.
Yeah. And to be fair, you earned that unity point, right? By deciding that,
Maybe.
yes, I will take on the vow, you get the unity point automatically.
Okay. I lost the
So,
honor because I failed it.
yeah, you lost the honor because you failed, but that's a different story.
Did I get a unity point for saving Reggie, or
Yeah.
we all? So okay, did we all get unity points? I just got one unity point myself for that.
Oh, sorry. No, no, no. When you get a unity point, it's a shared pool, so everyone got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we should have how many then at this point?
So at the end of it, if I was keeping track of everything up to date, you guys would have two.
Two. Okay.
Because you started
That's
with
what the
three.
UP stands for.
Yeah, unity points. Yeah.
For
So because the other thing that I forgot to tell you, and that's really bad on my part. The other thing, how the system works, is you can spend a unity point to use someone else's skill that's in your covenant.
Yeah.
That's I forgot about that. That's from the old set too, and I just forgot to remind you guys of that. So yeah. The only other unity point that you didn't get that you could have is the Iliad could have chosen to have one of you guys be the one that's involved in his untold story. Now there'll be more opportunities down the road for that, but um I think that flowed really well. I'm excited to hear more about that story. And also, like, we now have two reoccurring characters, right? Possibly three or four, depending on how much we want to push Reginald, right? And also, like, Maul and Jinx personally are kind of my favorite little con people that I've made up, the level con people. So, but we'll see if we see them again or not.
Yeah, I was assuming Jinx was going to be back. Yeah, seemed too good of a villain. Yeah, whatever she might be to lose.
So, okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing this. Again, I really do appreciate it. That's it. Unless um I probably shouldn't set anything up for next Sunday. Right, you got stuff going on anyway for you guys being late, so never mind. Yeah, so not next Sunday, but
see that would be right, but I mean, if in one of the three, so it's up to you. But
well,
if you're rolling
do you
20,
guys want to get together February 2nd?
good.
Oh, wait. Dang it. I'm doing a convention that day. Oh boy. Hmm. Maybe we'll just let Honorbound sit for a little bit. So then I'll
Is
actually
there like another like one-shotting thing you wanted to do?
yeah, I have to write it still. I've got it sketched out
Oh,
mostly. And one thing I really like about these encounters though just do a one shot encounter like this was. Like it's just one big scene is all it is, right? I already have
Mhm.
it. I just need to put the names to the people and add some more NPCs to make it a little bit more Charles Dickens-y, and it's probably fine. I could probably run it in a couple weeks pretty easily. Um, so why don't we try the second? Is that okay? Let's shoot for February 2nd. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Perfect. All right, everyone. I'll send out emails for that. Thank you again. And then after that, start thinking about if you want to keep doing Honorbound, or I should have the next Cursed of the Legends of the Cursed Riders mini campaign for that. So I think both have been really fun. So right
Awesome.
on.
Feel
Thank
Yeah,
you.
better.
This is great.
yeah.
Thank y'all. This is fun.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Nice. Bye.